Multisoft Virtual Academy, with over 21 years of experience, offers 1,500 plus courses, partners with 10K plus experts, serves 2,000 plus corporates, has trained 1 million plus individuals, and earning a 4.5-star rating. Here we share the overview, benefits, and facts.
Now building IPPE bomb structure. So as a bomb structure, to start with a bomb structure, there are certain prerequisites are there before creating IPPE nodes. What are the pre-structures? So we have to make sure material master is created. All components and finished goods must be exist in SAP using basic data and MRP views. This is like how we have the material master. So you need to have that one. And next, you need to have work centers. Create all the work centers, which are like resources, which you assign them in the production line, the factory line. You assign, so you need them. Create all production resources in CR01. Actually, CR01 is a core work center. Work center CR01. Okay. Core one is the process order creation. COR. Okay.
Yes.
That is just if you put R here, then it will be process order creation. Before assigning them to activity, but whereas in C201 is the master recipe creation. Right? C201. Yeah, now I'm just recollecting. So this is the work center creation. There in process industry, CA01 is for the routing. CR01. No, I think it is the same transaction. Because there we just use the CA01 is for the
CA01 for routing. CR01 is for work center.
Work center. Even for the mask for the resource also we use the same CR01. Only we change the category there.
For resource, another transaction is there.
That's what I'm trying to recollect that. I forgot that transaction.
I also forgot that.
CR01 because now I'm involved with the discrete only. See now I also worked in PPPI, but it's already some 6 years happened. So this is the next thing is the plant data. All materials must have the plant specific data. I mean, as we like a material master, so we have the MRP. So where you maintain all the plant relevant data there. So plants, what is the procurement type and then MRP type, all these maintained. So another thing is the variant configuration is one of the things. So for this one, so we need to have the classes and characteristics we have to set up here. And configuration profile and all is not required, but I think we'll see that one. So basically these are required for the selection conditions for the BOM and for the resources. So you need the selection conditions you need to write. For that one, you need to have understanding of variant configuration, which we will do it. So first to start with the IPPE node, we need to have a profile. You need to create a profile, and then authorizations are required for that. Just make sure that you have authorization for all these things, transactions. So IPPE profile is the first thing. So which we need to do. Yeah. Next thing is creating IPPE BOM node. In IPPE, it looks like this on right side. By one is your product node, and this is a BOM node. Under the BOM node, you have the component. This is a component. This is a simple structure, IPPE structure. How you create this structure? Open PPE UI or PPE, anything. This is a bit old one. UI. But you can go with this is in ECC, it is a UI, but in S4 you just straight away you can see PPE. So you enter this transaction, then workbench will open. So create node, there is a from the menu you can on the toolbar you have that one. Yeah, then we can create that and you enter the material number of the finished good and the plant, then confirm it. Then that is a header material you added. Under that you create the sub BOM nodes. These are components. And to select the parent node, right click create sub node for the BOM, enter your components and quantity. And this is how even the item category also you define it here. The item category. So select the item category, whether it is a stock item, non-stock item, or variable size item. Those things we will be adding in that node. Next is setting of the validity details, validity from to date. So it's like how you create your normal bomb, you will be creating bomb structure. We call this as a bomb structure in IPPE. Yeah, save and verify. You just save it and verify. The hierarchy tree will be creating in this way. That we will see. Okay, there is a small quiz here. Okay, small exercise. See, you see on the left side, and then answers are there, but don't see this side. Just see what transaction is the main IPPE workbench. Options are C0, B, PPE. Yeah, and true or false. PDE is created in SAP ECC. False.
No, false.
Yes. And which node type represent a production operation? Which node
Active.
type? Activity. Yes,
Activity.
activity node where it is a process structure. Yeah, true or false? IPP can manage variant bomb and routing together. Yes.
Yes.
What does CI stand for? Core interface, which you transfer the data. Yeah, this we cover. This also we refresh. So simple and complex assignments. How do we assign the components and other things in PPE? So we select the parent node, which is the parent node where you have the header material, right? In that header material, you select the structure, assign component. So you enter the child material number and quantity, confirm. Child appears, and this all we just saw this. That one in the form of notes that I have given here, and this component variant group. This one is a little bit different from what we see here. This is assignment component here. Create component variant. Component variant group is for the variant configuration material. So you create that one. You have a variant group you create. Under the variant group, you assign material plus quantity. You add another variant, material plus quantity. This is a normal bill of material. This is a configurable bill of material, which is super bomb. Getting the difference, no? This is for the normal bill of material creation. This is a variant super bomb, super bill of material creation. So how do we create that? So when we are creating for the super bomb, here we have to create a component variant group. But here you need to assign component, single component you're directly assigning. So then you add the material plus quantity, and second alternative you add the material. Likewise, you can add the materials to it, which become as your bomb, your super bomb. Each variant can have its own selection condition. Only one variant is selected during bomb explosion. Save the structure. Okay, this is fine. Now use a variant. Tip. Use a component variant group wherever a component can be fulfilled by alternative depending on configuration, market or data. Always define selection conditions to avoid both variants being planned simultaneously. Okay. Next, selection conditions. So how do we write selection conditions in component variants? So we have created the component variants here. Component variants. For this component variants, how do we select it? Creating this simple part 2 here. So one is the simple creation, and the second one is the compound one. How do we do it? So generally here, if you see here in this in PPE transaction, you first expand the tree and then you select the specific variant node, frame red. So we are selecting this on this one. Selection condition. There will be a dialog box will be there. Tabs will be there. In that tab, so the selection condition, there you add a condition, and then you select all these things we are creating already. Characteristics we are creating. You remember in the prerequisites, we are creating the characteristics and class are already there. We already created. So it is there. This is for the single condition, how we create it. Suppose a compound condition, that means logical operators are there, like and or combination is there. So in such case, how we use it. So say variant node is the same. Selection condition in that condition one, inject type is equal to V6 and click add condition again. Here condition 2, market is equal to Europe. So there are two conditions, but how you combine them? You can combine them with, suppose if I say and, both will be true, right? If this will be true and this will be true, then only the component will get selected. That is one way. Suppose R, if I put R, if anyone is true, then the component will be selected. So if the logical operator and, both must be true. Or it will be one, either one.
Either one.
Yeah, condition formula is shown in the formula area. Use purview to simulate a configuration and verify. So save test with the bomb explosion using IPPE filter. This will do it. So if you see here, example, compound condition they give. color is equal to red. So here, that is not, this is a engine type and market they use, but another example here is color is equal to red, engine type is equal to V6. Okay, this is a complex combination here. Color, engine type, market. Three things they are using here. Color is red, engine type is V6, and market is equal to US. Then select the component frame red V6 US. This is a component name. Just for example, they give this. So three conditions here. When the three conditions are met, this component will be selected. That is how the selection condition works out. So coming to the bomb explosion with IPPE filter. There is a filter is there, which we will do that one. So first you navigate to the top level, top product level, you have that node. Then open the bomb explosion. This is a navigation. Functions, bomb explosion or click explosion button. So I'll share this PPT with you. So once you have the system, you can do that. Even we'll develop that. So enter filter criteria. What is the filter criteria? Specify a characteristic. So this is what is color blue. This is a testing before finalizing that one. We'll test in this way. So we give the color, we give the engine type, we give the market. All these filter criteria is this one, and then I'm executing. Execute the run filter. Then it will select the result. So once you are happy with that result, so you save that as a variant. Okay. So here you see always test selection conditions with multiple configuration combination before releasing the IPPE structure for production planning. Means, what does it mean? So you have a filter, you open up the filter and you test all the combinations. And then if you are satisfied with them, you save them as a variant and you can release it for the production. Until then, just you can test it. Untested conditions may result in wrong component. Obviously, if you don't test it properly and then if you try to execute that one, so it will select the wrong one. And then coming to the exercise 2, build a bicycle bomb with color variants. So one example here, there is a scenario. You have a bike. So in that bike, there are two frames. One is a red one, when color is equal to red, and frame blue when color is equal to blue. These are the scenario. When in IPPE, how do we build this one? We have a structure, add selection condition, and then test using bomb explosion. This is how we test it. So what are the steps? Steps to solve this one. So first is you open PPE and then you create a product node. So as I said, when you create is there, when you click on that, it will ask you. There is a list down will be there. You have to select the product that I will show you. This only for a theory purpose. We have this. Just understand this. Yeah, product node. You select the product node. Create a product node. There you enter the bike BIKE001. You enter under the plant. Which plant? It is 1,000 plant. Create sub bomb node. There you enter the component and enter the each. Create component variant group where you have a multiple combinations. So you enter the bike 01. Variant red is 1, blue is 1. This is a characteristic frame. In how do we create in variant configuration? We create a frame as a characteristic. Under characteristic, we have a red and blue. Likewise, the same thing you'll also maintain in super. You need to create a material master for them. So for whatever characteristic value you wanted to have, those characteristic values you need to maintain as a material. So we select that material. Frame -red is a material. The selection condition we write color is equal to red, and frame blue quantity 1 because color is a characteristic. Yeah, this is how we need to add variant 1 and variant 2. Like that we need to add. This is a super. This is super. Next, save the structure. So you save that. After the save structure, you run the bomb explosion with filter. But there is a filter is there. Bomb explosion to test it. So you test with the color red. Yeah, verify frame red is coming or not. And you also select enter the color blue and see whether frame blue component is getting selected or not. That is how. This is what is the steps to solve, and solution is this. The right side is so product node created, wheel directed, component variant group created. So this is whatever we discussed here. That is what is on right side. So you can see bomb explosion, frame red plus wheel 01 is selected, and this one is both wheel 01 node appear regardless of color filter. Okay, this is what is how we'll test. We'll create all the things. Yeah. Now coming to the routing and line structure. Oh, we are okay. No, I mean we have time, right? I mean I don't know because good. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, we have. Okay, now routing like how we have the sequence of operations here also in IPPE we create in the node structure, like how we create a product structure. We select when we create a button, it asks you which node you want to create it. Is it a product structure, process structure, or factory line? So we are creating for the process structure, which is operations. Operations are routing what we are creating. So this is, see, on the right side you see this is activity sequence. So from the first is the frame assembly. This is one activity assembly. Under this activity assembly, we assign work center, BC, WC frame. Here, how many minutes it will take? 30 minutes it will take. Next is the wheel fit. Wheel fit is another work center. So here you take another activity. Here it takes 15 minutes time. Final inspection. If it takes WCQC, it takes 10 minutes time. How this structure is built, we see on the left side. First, select product node, and in product node, navigate and select top level product node for which you are building the routing. Means in the previous section here we have created the product node, right? This one. This is the product node, which is a parent. And on this parent, you put the cursor on this parent node to navigate to select the top level product node for which you are building the routing. Means that is a header material, which is a product node. You put the cursor there and then right click, create sub node, activity node, or either you can two ways of navigating. You can create from the node itself or from the toolbar. There's a create activity node is there. So you can click that down. You put your cursor on product node, because product node is like how, okay, let me correlate this one with that CA01. CA01, we have a material, right? We enter material and plant. Which material, without material also I can create it. Right? Without entering material, I create a routing. Then it will create a product. Group will be created. Right now. So here later we assign the material. We assign the enter material. That's also fine. But generally, what we do, we enter the material and then we enter the plant. Then we create a group. That's best way. So here, for which material you are creating a routing. So you are creating for the product node, which is your BOM header material. And that one, you are creating the activity. So how do we create? So right click, you place the cursor on that and right click, create subnode activity node. So then it will be created. On the activity node, set activity property. Now we need to set the properties. What are the properties we need to set? First, you give the activity name, work center, activity type, mission or labor, standard value, setup mission. See, like how we are creating routing in normal standard CA01. So you give all this. Then add successor activities. So first activity, right click, create successor node, activity node builder. It is the next operation. Like what is the next one? So it's order of creating all the operations here. Activities. Here what we got is activities. Adjust the sequence. Use drag and drop or move up and down toolbar buttons to reorder the activity if needed. Means suppose whatever mind you got it, you just created. Now you arrange them like how we do. So we give the item number, sequence number is there. Item number is item, sequence number, right? 0010, 0020,
sequence number, operation sequence.
Operation sequence number. That is what it is, the sequence number here. Adjust the sequence number. So you move them and then you put that order. So validate and save. So once you validate that, you review the activity sequence and then save with the verify work center assignments, how the work centers are assigned. So when you do that, this is a routing node structure creating in IPPE. This is how it appears on the right side. Okay, next. What are these assigned component? Now, like how we have created the operation, now we need to create components to operations, right? Like how we did for the routing. So linking BOM components to production operations. How do we add components to the operations? So what is the purpose of this one is, the purpose is activity node indicates basically in production sequence which component is consumed. We need to know which components which components are getting in each operation.
Okay.
Right? That is the idea for this one. So basically material staging, for the material staging, WIP tracking and backwashing. And suppose if I have this, if I assign the components at operation 10 and operation 20, I assign few more components. So here also you to get those materials, so you need to assign them at a proper activity nodes. So how do we do that one? So you select the activity node, click on the activity node to which you want to assign a component. So frame assembly is the first one. And then component, open the component tab, right click detail area, navigate this and all. We need to have the system, but I'm just reading out. We can visualize that. So navigate the component assembly. Next, you add a component, select the material from the BOM structure or enter the material number directly. Set the quantity, how much quantity you are assigning, and the quantity consumed at this specific operation. This may differ from the total quantity BOM quantity. BOM quantity, but generally whatever is the BOM quantity, that thing will assign it here, right? Because we are doing confirmation. At the time of confirmation, we report actual consumption. So that is fine. Either you can set it or you can take up default value, whatever it is coming. Now assign variant. So this is important here. If the component has variants, the variant group appears. Assign the relevant variants or select all variants to one operation. Means, for example, operation 10, 20, 30 are there. Okay, super bomb. Okay, super bomb concept now. There are multiple operations are there, and you have a multiple components are there. So you wanted to assign right component to the right operation. Right? First is bomb selection happened. Now here in routing, I need to select proper right operation. Along with that, I also
right group of components.
Yeah, that needs to be selected. Which variant configuration will help you with that. This. Yeah, add condition. Now optionally add selection conditions to the component to activity assignment for configuration specific consumption. So this is what we will say. Repeat and save. So this for one operation you do, for the rest of the activities also you do the same thing. Repeat for all components at this activity. Save the structure when all assignments are completed. So how this appears? If you see on the left side, this is the third one. So now we are done with the product structure and we are done with the process structure. Third one is the factory layout. Creating factory node structure. Like how you have done for in the product structure and the process structure. There also, when you create on this one on the menu bar, there your list down will be there. So where you select it. Okay, I'm creating now factory node under the product node. Okay, see, this is bike is my product node right now. This is what is my this is the product factory node hierarchy what we are creating in here. But this is independently you create the product lines, because this is a line bay, a bike, and then you have a frame assembly. This is a name. This is a name. Under this name, you are giving the multiple lines. This is a frame assembly. This is a wheel fitting. This is the final inspection. That we will see here how the structure is being created here. Now create the structure. How do we create? Create the factory node structure. Same transaction. PPE factory. Already you are factory node is you created the product structure and you create the process structure. Now I'm creating the factory layout, factory node structure. So generally what happens under this, we will be, the cursor will be the same thing and we create that. So create the top level plant node. So here to create a factory node. So when you click on this one, so it lists out. So we are creating the factory node. Then when you select that one, it asks you which plant. So we see the plant and description. So I think description will be pulled in. Line node under plant. Enter line ID, line by. This is a name we are giving it, like a label. Okay. Under this label, you are, these are the actual assembly frame, wheel fitting, and finally these are the actual production lines. Okay. Define line properties, rate, units per hour, shift model, and all. Create station nodes under. So this is exercise under the line node. 1 bar workstation. Assign SAP Work Center CR01 to each station. So you create this thing. Here you assign the work center to them. Getting no. So first is these are the actual assembly lines. For this assembly lines, we are assigning the work centers. In the SAP bottom work centers, we have created those because to capture the costs and all, you need that one. Yeah, adding detail. Second one is adding detail. What is that details we'll add it here? Set station level, tact rate of override lines area, and define parallel stations for high demand steps. Set buffer rule and flow rules between stations. Link activity nodes to factory nodes. This activity nodes, you have the top, you have the activity nodes. But that activity nodes, we assign them. We pull this one, we'll assign to the activity nodes. Actually, what we do in routing, for the operations we assign. We don't assign to the production lines, but we assign to the operations, the components or everything we assign at the operational. But here, you separately you say that you assign to the activities. That is what it is saying. Link activity nodes to factory nodes, and this connects what is done. Activity, where it is, in which station it is done. So those details you get it from the factory node structure. So coming to the next point, how do work center distributing work content across stations? How do we distribute it? What is this one? Assigning components and activities via line balance. This is one of the good topic here. This is the main topic here in a IPPE. One is the product structure. Second one is the process structure. Third one is the factory node. Okay, factory node structure. That's also structure only. So in this structure, physical lines, we define the physical lines and we assign the work centers to it. After assigning these things, how do we navigate them and what are the, how do we balance them? How do we do the line balance? Here, components and activities are there. I think we drag and drop, we do that one. It's a very nice thing when you do that, we see that one in the system. So how do we do them? First, navigate to line. First, I want to navigate to the line. How do I do? I go to the PPE and this one, factory line node, line bike, which we created here, line bike. This one. Okay, we are coming here, line bike in the tree. So we are selecting that one. So navigate to the factory line node. So we are there now. From there, function, line balance, the line balance workbench opens. When you create this one, when you are in this node, line bike node, open the line balance function. Then view unassigned pool. Left panel shows all the unassigned activities and components. Means here we created these things. All these things. We created the bomb, right? We created this one, this structure, and we also created this structure. This structure, activity sequence. All these things you can see here. In this one, unassigned pool, on the left panel side, you see, because we are not assigned anything to the line balance now. So you can see all those things. In the left panel shows all unassigned activities and components available for assignment. Now you assign them, which activity and for which component you need to assign on the production line, on the assembly line. Suppose here, if we see, I think I use this one. So here, if you see, frame assembly is one work center, wheel fitting and final inspection, another one. Here we assign them. That is the 4 activities, assign activities. Drag activities from the unassigned pool to the target station. System shows work content per station. So assign components. So now you assign the components to it. So how do we assign the components? We'll see. Check balance chart. So review the balance chart, aim for equal work center per station. I mean, see, basically, you are first of all, you are assigning the activities, and then you are assigning the components to the line, which is a line balance. What we call it is a line balance. Assign components to the station where they are consumed. This drives material staging per station. Next is the check balance chart. So you also have a chart here where you can see how the balancing is happening, how the activities and materials are assigned to the line balance. Aim for equal work content per station. Which is a tact balance concept here. So you resolve the bottlenecks by identifying stations where, I think whatever you said, that's what it's saying here. With the highest work content, these distribute activities or create parallel stations. By doing this one, so you also balance your load on various stations, on various workstations. Yeah, and save the assign. When balance, save all the activity to station component to station links are stored in IPPE. Next, packaging and IPPE data for production planning. This is basically you are creating a production version integrated model, PPO, APO, PDA structure. So we'll see this one. So basically, fourth module is linking the BOM and routing for the plan. This is a normal one. This is like how we create the production version in MM02 in MRP. The same thing here. There's nothing much difference here. Just to understand that. So IPP. So first of all, prerequisite check. What is to create a production version? What are you require? You require the PPE structure is required. IPPE, sorry, not PPE, IPPE structure. Complete and saved. So this is what we did this one. In our previous thing, this is what we did. We have done complete structure now. Product structure, process structure, and factory structure. These three are created and they are saved for a product. They are there now. Now we are ready with. Now see what it is saying. MRP views maintained for finished product in MM02. They are there. Next, access production version. From PPUI, select product node. So product node is the first one, finished product where you attached here. Here, this one. Byte 001 is your product node under which you have the components, different components. So this one, you have the cursor here. Okay, you have this one, select product node functions. This is a way for navigation. So you select this one, functions, production version, or via MM0 to see. Either I can go like this or I can create directly from the MRP4 tab. Right now, C20, 223 also I can use it. Okay, create new version, create enter key 001 description. This is a standard one. And also lot says 0 to 1000 or 10,000, whatever you want, you can use that one. Production version applies only within the quantity rate, that we know that. Also validity date, like how we do the validity date, we do that. And this is a normal way of creating production version. There isn't any difference. Reference IPP only BOM field system references IPP BOM automatically. Routing field confirm the IPPC. Here the difference here it is this thing will be IPPE structure. It will refer. It will not like BOM alternative one and routing group counter. It will not refer that one. It will refer so when you go to the BOM field, it will take the IPPE BOM automatic and routing field. It will take the IPPE routing reference. These two, like what we have created earlier. Yeah, it will take that one. So after that, you check resolve any errors, like how we see in our normal creation of production version, where the BOM and routing are available. It's a consistency check, right?
Yes.
Consistency check we see, and then if they are available, then we are good with the BOM production version is created. What is the key here? Key is material can have a multiple production versions, like how we have in a standard 001 standard, 002 overtime line. Like that, you can create a multiple BOMs for a node structure, so for a node, for a product node. And MRP selects the version based on the lot size, and this is a normal. Always run check. So this is what I said. Check function before saving to validate multiple routing link. And then integration model. Here, what is the integration model here is, this is the transaction to transfer the master data from S4 HANA to advanced planning. Advanced planning or APO. What is a transaction? These are the two transactions which are used here. Creating and activating the interface model, CFM1 and CFM2. So how do we do that one? So we see this one, new one, APO view. This is actually, if you have an APO, this will work. See, create, execute CFM1, create integration model, enter model name, IPP underscore bike underscore model, enter logical, because APO is not in the same box, it is existing in another box. So you need to give the target system ID. Select the objects. What are the objects that you are transferring data? Materials, production version, IPPE, PDS flag. You have to tick that flag, then it will go there. Enter selection, plant and material bike, and generate, review generated object list. So in CFM2, find model, activate, click activate. So once it is log will be generated when once the data is transferred to the APO. So you can see all the entries should appear green. So what is the new transaction? PPE APO. When you add PPE APO is the new transaction. So in S4 HANA, you enter this one. So APO related node. This is basically, if you have advanced planning, we can use this one. Internally, it will happen here. So PDS structure, it shows the relevant node and properties with the IPPE data and PDS structure. So as I said, PDS structure will be generated in APO. So this thing will be selected, and these are the steps you need to follow to transfer the data. Okay. Next, this is see, this and all basically APO related. So next, this is a bomb demo. Production planning with IPP end-to-end demo. So we'll have a scenario. So 100 units of bike. So first there is a demand requirement. There's MD61. You create that demand and then go to the CF model, activate CFM2. So it is going to the PD. Suppose I don't have this one. Within my S4 HANA or ECC, I'm running MRP. So I don't do APO SPD94 here. Here I'm running in my ECC itself or S4 HANA itself. When I run this one, so I get the planned order, and that planned order will be converted into production order. But this is the data it will be using. The IPPE data it will use it. Okay, and based on your quantity, and this is they basically for the MD61 scenario, demand scenario. Likewise, you can also create a sales order for that. Okay, release to ECC, but basically here, if you look at your planned orders for bike created in APO, configuration specific component selected, frame red for red variant, frame blue for blue variant. Operation scheduled against line bike station using IPP activity times 30 plus 15 plus 10. So there is a time we have defined here. So those timings it is taking. Components also, for component planned orders for all submaterials. But this is in ECC, but we do this in S4 HANA. We get the system and then we execute. I'll share you the exercises and then one end-to-end scenario which we will be doing that. Yeah, this is the troubleshooting common. Generally, what are the issues we are having? See, suppose if your IPPE is integrated with the APO, then you have this issue. These are
common.
Yeah, these issues are common. Missing production version or inactive. So if it is not within the validity date, then you check the production version. So both variant plan. So causing conditions missing income buckets, because suppose if you don't have a selection condition, those components will not get selected. So this is the common thing. Just see the IPP and reactivate integration model and regenerate PDS. This is when you integrate with the APO. Otherwise, directly you can check it and see. Say wrong scheduling times, activity node standard values not made. If you don't maintain the values there, so you don't get those. So update those values. And CAF transfer errors. Generally missing MRP views. Suppose if you don't have MRP views maintained, then you get this situation. So maintain that one. The IPP filter shows all variants. No configuration entered or filter not applied. Apply IPP filter with specific character value to test. Basically, this test filter is like in variant configuration. We have a CFD. Simulation. Okay. Simulate variant configuration in ECC in S4 HANA AVC. You have a simulate configuration model app will be there, where we do the so we model the product. Here in CU50, suppose if you don't maintain the values and all, then we know that okay, what is failing. So here in IPPE, they gave the filter. So to test your configuration model, how it is working, whether it is getting correctly, components are getting selected or not, we can see that in CU50. Okay. And this APO not available means, I mean, if it is not integration, not active, so you don't see this. But APO, this is APO related. So what are the common transactions that are being used in IPPE? So basically PPE UI is a main workbench for the BOM and routing, and APO is for the transfer, and CF1 is for the integration model. CFM2 is a change activities integration model, and SEPO. These are all the APO related transactions, Satish, that you can see. You can check them out. And MM01 and work center, 61 is the demand management, and 7 is the production order information, which generally these are the normal transactions which we will be using. And see, basically these are 5 modules, but the data I have covered now. So we will have the system, and then we establish. I'll show you one recording also. IPPE fundamentals. So basic fundamentals. What are the things that are like a product structure, process structure, and factory structure? These are the 3 main things which in IPPE, because IPPE is a master data maintenance basically. So it is a workbench, and it is a single source of truth. Like when you have multiple variants, different variants, you can see all in one place. That is what is IPE is. And then second one is BOM nodes and relationships, so which we have learned. And third is activity nodes, factory line structure, factory structures and line balance. And fourth one is the production versions and CIF and APO integration.